that lead. 2 seconds for Reese McNally, McLeod, and local yellows down here, probably for George Medeki's car that's stranded, I imagine. So no passing down at this part of the racetrack. There it is.
It's probably a good thing because it always ends in tears down there. At least we'll see some lap times.
It's what's cool about this track, though. There are so many passing opportunities around here. Probably more so than you get at most tracks in the V8 Supercar calendar. It really does offer a lot of opportunities for heavy braking passing opportunities.
Yeah, and you can work a guy over. You can ruffle him up the corner before and set it up the next corner.
Craig Dontis, diminutive South Aussie. I say that the utmost respect for Craig, but he is a short fella, which is actually not a bad thing for a race car driver.
No, it's good. Put the weight where you want it.
Yep, centre of gravity down. And he, at the moment, is chasing around Chris Walton, who's managed to put a few car lengths, or ute lengths, in between himself and Craig.
Okay, so here we've got McLeod, who's starting to catch back up a little bit.
He's actually started to put 1 or 2 car lengths of his own now on Cedars, which is very impressive.
Could be a tyre pressure thing, just how the guys have got their different pressures set, where you want to come on early or come on later in the race. It's only a difference of 1 or 2 pounds.
Isn't Graham Edwards doing a good job? There he is. He's out in 14th.
And clean, tidy.
Yeah, it's the one event that he shows up to run in, and doing a good job fighting with another local North Queensland youngster this time, and Mason Barbera. Barbera getting a bit of a hurry up there through the mid part of the corner. Barbera running for ICR Petroleum and Nanport this weekend. Bundaberg-based company. They've had some issues electrically with this car, actually, getting it fired up, and that's what saw him stall it off the grid in Perth. He's also had some issues with that recently in Darwin. Thankfully, at the moment, it's doing the job, but he's just sitting outside the top 10 at the moment.
Beachy's got his bumper hanging off.
Standard practice for the Utes. Gonna shed 1 or 2 body parts.
They might actually pull him in if that doesn't dislodge, so his best bet's to probably back up to Barbera and get him to help him pull it off.
See if Barbera will do him a favour here.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
George, actually, no, it was McLeod who did that to Meedeke under safety car conditions in Perth. Wiped the bumper off for him, which is quite nice. Saved him getting the meatball flag, which means you have to come into the pits to get it removed, which obviously pretty much just ruins the whole race for you.
Oh, ruins your whole weekend.
Yeah.
It's so important to keep finishing races in this format. Dontis on the all-important position 8. Kim Jones sneaked up into the 9th position, so he won't lie down.
It's great seeing Grant Johnson back running in a competitive car. All-purpose pest control wildcard has a different driver at most rounds, but he's had 2 cracks so far this year in this car. He actually handed it over to Chris Pither for Darwin, didn't he? And didn't Pither convert?
Yeah, Pither just gave him a driving lesson all weekend. Just saved everything for the last race and put on a clinic, really. It was really good to see.
It was actually the 2nd closest race finish in Ute history. Both closest races coming in Darwin now. What's this race got in store for us? As the laps tick down, 2 seconds the distance between 1st and 2nd, so it's not looking like being an absolute thriller at the front, but there's still plenty to sort out further back in the pack. Look how much steering input Walton puts into this car. There's a lot of go-kart driving to stay sharp. Gold Coast-based driver chasing down Nathan Pretty here in the Burbank Homes Ute.
He's ranging up on him. Just whether he can get past. So a lot of experience there between those 2 guys.
Oh, he's catching him all right.
He's catching him. If he can stay on his bumper, he might be able to pitch it down the inside. Nathan will just wheel it through this part of the track and hang on to it and try and just get in front of him enough.
Nathan
has a bit of a sniff.
Pretty just focusing on hitting those markers.
Yeah, just get it in and get it off, unless you make a mistake. And as you can see, Nathan gets better drive off the turn. That's all he has to do, is just keep getting the car off the turn nicely. Make it real hard for Walton to get a run on him.
Dontis will be thinking, come on, catch him, have a go. Oh, Medeke's got that car moving again, which is a good effort. So no local yellows down there, but he is going.
That's weird. It must have been an electrical problem or something that allowed him to reset it.
Turn it off and on again?
Turn it off and on again. Just road car electrical systems in these cars, so it could have a little gremlin there.
And that is not what you need in the championship charge. And it's fair to say that Matt Stone Racing are probably the most meticulous when it comes to prep.
Yeah, they've really got a race car mentality from all those years of experience at Stone Brothers Racing with Matt and Jimmy there. Loving their racing still.
2.5 to go for your race leader, Reece McNally, riding on board with the defending champion and also the man who took out the round win here, including the race 1 win in 2014, the Rinco Charger himself, Chris the Killer, they call him, Walton. It's a bit of a ute thing. The boys have nicknames across the field. Good. They like to put it on the B pillar.
Everyone needs a nickname.
Not much cooler than the dude, though. Who gave you that nickname, by the way?
Oh, it goes back a long way.
Is that a story for not on television?
Yeah,
or is it
no, it's a TV story.
We'll hear it one day. We'll hear it during a safety car at some point this weekend if we get there. Graham Edwards still chasing down this battle pack. And look, he's keeping pace with regulars in the series. He's doing a great job. Oh, Barbera with a problem. He's bowled it wide.
Wilson will capitalise on that.
As Paul Morris would say, and he loses a couple of spots. And that could be the difference between missing out on an invert later in the weekend. We saw that happen to Chris Wilson, to the other Wilson. We've had a few of that race in the series. Cam Wilson in Darwin slipped off the racetrack. Didn't know at the time, but it would have got him the invert to the front row.
Would have got him the invert. Out of a lot of, get him out of the danger zone. He was buried in mid-pack all race.
It's been a real turn of pace in 2015 for Reece McNally. He showed last year that he had some glimpses of that speed. And in Darwin, he drove off the back of the grid in the 3rd race. I think he came from 28th to finish 12th in a race that had a safety car in it as well. So he was ripping through the field. Now Cedars has closed back onto the ABC Towing Ryco entry. Got it closer once again. Mango credit stickers have been put on overnight under the Cedars ute, looking resplendent in black and orange once more.
McLeod's just got him covered in the faster sections. Just a bit tidier.
If McLeod didn't have that howler in Adelaide of a weekend, he would be right up there in the top 5 of the points. As it stands, he's not doing too badly. He locked a tie down there, but he just got his championship campaign off on the wrong foot. He's still sitting 7th in the points. He'll probably continue to push on if he carries this form as McNally starts that final lap. But remember when the bonnet came up?
Oh, it was a terrible week. Most guys would have just packed their stuff up and never come back, but just shows the resilience of McLeod to rebound and then rebound to some good form.
Really cool to see.
Copped a lot of flack from the other drivers and the stewards and just took it on the chin and got on with it.
He even got some glass in his eye. He almost took his thumb off pre-week working on a circular saw at home, and he just refuses to give up. Oh, we need a new mainline dyno number plate down there for Ryan Hansford. That's all standard stuff as well in the utes. We usually use a few of.
And this is where McNally's quick. You watch him attack these curbs. Just keeps it flowing.
Has Cedars got any answer for second here?
He won't unless McLeod makes a mistake, and I don't think he's going to.
They've dropped Marjoram, so Marjoram's gone into tyre-saving mode. He wants to make sure he's got good Yokohamas for the rest of the weekend here.
That's a good point. Limited to 4 tyres, new tyres for the weekend, and 2 used one out of your previous bank, and he has a look. Jared just covers him off and says, no way, mate.
I'll tell you what, though, this will give him a bad exit, and it might just open up the door.
No, he'll be right.
He's trying to get the power on a bit early there, Cedars.
He'll be right.
Is there going to be a last corner dive bomb? McLeod will park it over on the left-hand side of the entry, meaning no way through.
There he goes.
No pass, so it's not going to be a Cedars Racing 1-2, but it is going to be a Cedars Racing win. He won the reverse grid race in Perth, and he's going to cruise home for a victory here in 2015. Congratulations to the birthday boy, converting pole position thanks to Armour All to a race 1 victory. Nice work for Reece McNally. Jared McLeod doing another great job hanging on to second. He's been top 3 the last 3 races in the series, so he is in seriously good form. Cedars returning a top 3 finish as well. He's been strong so far this year. And Marjoram will round out that top 4 battle, and Jeremy Gray also looking strong. First of the Fords.
First of the Fords, then Walton.
Grant Johnson inside the top 10. All 3 Erebus cars inside the top 10, so a couple of headlines there. Some big names there, actually. Ryle Harris, the points leader, in huge danger of missing the invert. We'll find out what that is a little bit later on. Mason Barbera slipped back to 15th. Marcus Marshall, his first race in the utes in 4 years, returning a 16th position finish. Didn't see too much of Lee Nicolau on that one, but he was back there in 18th. And 28 utes taking to the grid for the first of the 3 races this weekend. And unfortunately, we didn't see much of a battle at the front, but I'm sure that the rest will be exciting.